Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Tuesday. It is 24th of December. Pausha Masa or Narayana Masa. Krishna Paksham Navami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events today in the calendar apart from Christmas Eve. So we are, and also we are coming nearer to Ekadasi on Thursday. Okay, so for now we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking to Brahma, so about himself, what all the questions that Brahma has inquired about his appearance and his different incarnations and his different energies. And also Brahma wanted to know, he does not want it to fall into the illusion, and also he does not want it to get any pride because of his works. Likewise, he asked about the Lord and also some kind of benediction as well. And then for that one, the Lord has spoken the 7 verses. The first 2 verses are to giving the knowledge and also the blessings to Brahma, and then the kind of introductory 2 verses, and then 4 verses Chatashloki Bhagavata, and then last 1 verse is the conclusion, what Brahma needs to be remembered at all the time and circumstances. So Brahma has questions like तथापि नाथमानस्य नाथनाथयनादितं परावरे यथा रूपे जानीयां ते त्वरूपिणः यथा आत्ममायायोगेन नानशक्ति उपबृंहितं विलुम्पन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् बिभ्रद् आत्मानम् आत्मना and क्रीडति अमोघसङ्कल्प पूर्णाभिः यतोर्नते तथा तद्विषयां देहि मनीषां मयि माधव भगवच्चिकीर्षितम् अहं करवाणिः अचिन्तितः नेहमानः प्रजासर्गं बध्येयं यदनुग्रहात् यावत् सकाशक्युरिवेशते कृतः प्रजाविसर्गे विभजामि भोजनम् अविक्लवस्ते परिकर्मणि सितो मामे समुन्नद्धम् अधोजमानिनः. So he asked all these questions like about his different his form, transcendental and also materialistic, when he appears in this material world in different incarnations, and then Nana Sekti Upabrahmitam about his energies and also his activities. Kridasi Amoga Sankalpa, so those activities, and Brahma wanted to know all these things. Bhagavad Chikichitam Aham Karavanihi Atinditaha. And also he wanted to be just like a Atindritaha, just like instrument in carrying out the Lord instructions. And also he does not want it to be bewildered. Aviklavaste parikarmanisito. He does not want it to be get any kind of pride and also getting disturbed when he was carrying out this process of creation. So because the Lord has given handshake to Brahma, so Brahma would not get any pride out of it. And then Lord spoke the 7 slokas. So far we have covered 6 slokas. Jnanam paramaguhye me vidvijnan samanvitam sarahatyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya yavanaham yata bhavo yadrupa gunakarmakah tataiva tattva vidjnanam astute mad anugrahat aham evasamevagre nanyad yad tad asad param pashadaham edetaccha yo avashishyeta sosmyaham प्रत्यार्धम यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यात् आत्मनो मायं यथा भासो यथा तमः यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेष्वनु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न त्वेष्वहम् एतावज्जीव जिज्ञास्यं तत्विज्ञासनात्मनः अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्यं यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. So likewise, in all times and circumstances, one has to come to the conclusion that Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the aim of everyone's life. And then the process is rendering devotional service unto Him. So that is the ultimate point the Lord has spoke. And then now the Lord is concluding with the final verse that, O Brahma, so you always remember these instructions, whatever I have given, and fix your mind completely in the samadhi. So that you would not bewildered in the kalpa time or vikalpa time. Kalpa vikalpa. So for Brahma's daytime, so he goes to the sleep in the night time and he wakes up in the next day morning. Again he sees the inundation of waters. So at that time he would not be bewildered. And then every 15 years there is again one more pralaya comes. That is also I think Mahakalarati, something like that. That is one more pralaya is there, 15 years, and then 100 years of Brahma, it is complete thing. So he doesn't have to remember anything. So he will be going back to Godhead directly after his 100 years. So here, Bhavan Kalpa Vikalpesh. So likewise, the Lord, he is saying that you will not be bewildered. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 37. So we are entering into the verse number 37. एतन्मतं समातिष्ठ परमेन समाधिना भवान् कल्पविकल्पेषु न विमुह्यति करिहि चेत् एतन्मतं समातिष्ठ, O Brahma. So this, the conclusion, whatever I have spoken, samatishta, remain fixed, samatishta, and paramena samadhina. Paramena, this is the supreme instruction. So supreme conclusion, always remain fixed in samadhina, the supreme concentration of the mind. In all the time, it is the highest instruction to Brahma. Always remain fixed in this conception. Paramena samadhina. Bhavan kalpa vikalpeshu. Bhavan yourself, kalpa in the intermediate devastation, and vikalpeshu in the final devastation, and navimuhyate will never bewilder. Kadhechet anything like complacence. So this is the instruction by the Lord to Brahma. This is the final and conclusive statement. एतन्मतं समातिष्ठ परमेन समाधिना भवान् कल्प विकल्पेषु न विमुह्यति तर्हि चेत्. So translation for this verse: O Brahma, just follow this conclusion by fixed concentration of mind, and no pride will disturb you, neither in the partial nor in the final devastation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Mrida Sachi Mataji to read from here to purport until this point, until the personality of Godhead. And then second part is going to read by Jahna Kanya Mataji until the rest. Hare Krishna, Mrida Sachi Mataji. Okay, if Mrida Sachi Mataji is not available, can I request Meena Mataji? Thank you for coming and joining. It is nice to see you, Mataji, coming back from the.
Hare
Would you
Krishna.
like to read the Mataji, this paragraph?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Yes, in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna has summarized the whole text in 4 verses, namely Aham Sarvesu Prabhava extra. So the complete Srimad Bhagavatam has also summarized in 4 verses as Aham Aishwaryam Evagras extra. Thus the secret purpose of the most important Bhagavatam conclusion has been explained by the original speaker of the Srimad Bhagavatam, who was also the original speaker of the Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead. Lord Sri Krishna. There are many grammar grammars and non-devotee materially wrangles who have tried to present false interpretations of these 4 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, but the Lord himself advised Brahmaji not to be deviated from the fixed conclusion the Lord has taught him. The Lord was the teacher of the nucleus of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4 verses, and Brahma was the receiver of the knowledge, minister presentations of the word aham by the word juggling of the impersonalist should not disturb the mind of the strict follower of the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam is the text of the personality of Godhead and his unallowed devotee who are also known as the can you go? Known as the Bhagavat, Bhagavatam, and any outsider should have no access to this confidential literature of devotional service known as the Bhagavatas, and any outsider should have no access to this confidential literature of the devotional service. But unfortunately, the impersonality who has no relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead sometimes tries to interpret Srimad Bhagavatam by his poor fund of knowledge in grammar and dry speculations. Therefore, the Lord warns Brahma, and through Brahma all future devotees of the Lord in the disciplic successions of Brahma, that one should never be misled by the conclusion of the so-called grammarians or by other men with a poor fund of knowledge, but must always fix the mind properly via the parampara system. No one should try to give a new interpretations by the dint of modern dint of mundane knowledge and the first step therefore in pursuance of the system of knowledge received by Brahma is to approach a bona fide guru who is the representative of the Lord following the parampara system. No one should try to squeeze out his own meaning by imperfect mundane knowledge. The guru or the bona fide spiritual master is competent to teach the disciple in the right path with reference to the content of all authentic Vedic literature. He does not attempt to juggle word to bewilder the student. The bona fide spiritual master by the personal activity teaches the personal activity teaches the disciple the principle of devotional service. Without personal service, one would go on speculating like the impersonality and dry speculators life after life and would be unable to reach the final conclusion by following the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master in conjunction with the principle of revealed scripture. The student will rise to the plane of complete knowledge, which will be exhibited by development of detachment from the world of sense gratification. The mundane wrinkles are surprised that one can uh, detach himself from the world of sense gratification, and thus any attempt to be fixed in God, Thus, any attempt to be fixed in the God realization appears to them to be mistriction. The detachment from the sensual world is called the Brahma Bhuta stage of realization, the preliminary stage of transcendental devotional life, parabhakti. The Brahma Bhuta stage of life is also known as the Atmaram stage, in which one is fully self-satisfied and does not hanker for the world of sense enjoyment. This stage of full satisfaction is the proper situation for understanding the transcendental knowledge of the personality of Godhead. The Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.20 affairs.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very nicely there. Thank you so much. I can request Jahna Kanya Mataji to read from there.
Hare Krishna. The Srimad Bhagavatam 1-20 affirms this. Evam prasana manaso bhagavat bhakti yogata bhagavat tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya javate. Thus, in the completely satisfied stage of life, exhibited by full attachment from the world of sense enjoyment as a result of performing devotional service, one can understand the science of God in the liberated stage. In this stage of full satisfaction and detachment from the sensory world, one can know the mystery of the science of God with all its confidential intricacies, and not be by grammar or academic speculation. Because Brahma qualified himself for such reception, the Lord was pleased to disclose the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. The direct instruction of the Lord to any devotee who is detached from the world of sense gratification is possible, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Tesham satata yuktanam bhagjatam puriti purvakam darani pura yogam tam yenamam upanantite. Unto the devotees who are constantly engaged in the Lord's transcendental loving service, Priti Purvakam, the Lord, out of the causeless mercy of his causeless mercy upon the devotee, gives direct instruction to that the devotee may make accurate progress on the path returning home back to Godhead. One should not therefore try to understand these 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam by mental speculation. Rather, by direct perception of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is able to know all about the abode. Vaikuntha, as was seen and experienced by Brahmaji, such Vaikuntha realization is possible by any devotee of the Lord situated in the transcendental position as a result of devotional service. In the Tapani Upanishad, Shruti, it is said, Gopa versus me was Gopa Vaishyo me Purusha Purustad Abhibhavutva Abhibhavuva. The Lord appears before Brahma as a cowboy. that is, as the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna Govinda, who is later described by Brahmaji in the Brahma Samhita 529. Chintamani prakara samasu kalpavriksha laksha vriteshu surabhi ambi palayanantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satatam Brahma Satasam Brahma Sevya Namaha Nam Govinda Dadi Purusham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahmaji desired to worship the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, who resides in the topmost Vaikunta planet, known as Gokula Vrindavana, where he is in the habit of keeping Surabhi's cows as a cowboy, and where he is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune, the gopis, with love and respect. Therefore, Lord Krishna is the original form of the Supreme Lord. Krishna's to Bhagavata Krishna to Bhagavan Swayam. This is also clear from this instruction. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna and not directly Narayana or the Purusha avatars, which are subsequent manifestations. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam means consciousness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the sound representation of the Lord as much as the Bhagavad Gita is. Thus, the conclusion is Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of the Lord, in which the Lord and his abode are perfectly realized. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. It is also long purport, but we are trying to cover it very quickly. So this is the conclusive statement of the Lord. So Lord is saying to Brahma that fix your mind with concentration, and no pride will disturb you, neither in the partial nor in the final devastation. That is the conclusion. So Prabhupada is describing here. So this Bhagavad Gita, so we also know that Chatashloki Bhagavad Gita. So this is Prabhupada is mentioning here. So I think we might be previously asking, thinking where does this Chatashloki Bhagavad Gita came from? So here, this is the source. So here, Lord Krishna has summarized the whole text in 4 verses, namely, Aham Sarvasya Prabho Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Bhuda Bhava Samanvitaha. मच्चित्ता मद्गत प्राण बोधयन्त परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सर्वयुक्तानां भजितां प्रीतिपूर्वकम्. So that is again these are the 4 verses. Again तेषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्तु Jnana Rupena Bhasvata. So those are the 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita. This is Aham Sarvasya Prabhava starting with. And similarly, so the complete Srimad Bhagavatam has also been summarized in the 4 verses as Aham Evasam Evagri that we have been discussing. So the secret purpose of the most important Bhagavati conclusion has been explained by the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna. And here, Bhagavatam also, the Chaitashloki Bhagavatam also spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, original speaker of the Bhagavad Gita itself. So, there are many grammarians and non-devotee material wranglers who have tried to present false interpretations of the 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. And here, but the Lord himself directly advising Brahmaji not to be deviated from the fixed conclusion the Lord had taught him. So, this is the Lord instruction. In the Bhagavad Gita also, he says to Arjuna, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. And Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. That is the ultimate statement. And here the Lord was the teacher of the nucleus of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4 verses. And Brahma was the receiver of the knowledge. So this is a guru and a disciple. And then misinterpretation of the word aham by the jugglery of impersons should not disturb the mind of the strict followers of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this comes when only through the Guru Parampara only, bona fide Guru Parampara. Otherwise, if we follow some kind of instructions by sometimes some people sprout out from the society that I am the God. But where did they get the knowledge? How did they get realized? So there is no answer. I have been in meditation. They say like that. But actually, it comes from the Guru Parampara. Whenever Krishna also says, it comes from the Imam Vivaspate Yogam, from the sun god, and Evam Parampara Praptam in the Guru Parampara only. And when Kapil Bhagwan spoke the Sankhya philosophy, he also this Puratite Mayanaghe, this was already spoken. And I am repeating the same thing, oh my dear mother Devhuti. So, and also likewise, many other, all throughout Bhagavatam also, no one is claiming that I spoke this one. So, those Dharmam Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam, either Krishna spoke this one or the Narayana spoke to Brahma. These are the only statements. And everyone, every part of other instructions are just his disciples like Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Sev. So conversations between the two people. And here Srimad Bhagavatam is the text of personality of Godhead and his unalloyed devotees, who are also known as the Bhagavatas. And any other outsider should have no access to this confidential literature of the devotional service. So if there is a father and son, and there is a good conversations and understandings between the father and son, but a person who is somewhere coming from that some kind of a knowing by the name, I know this person, I know this person, like that, and he would like to interpret that person, the father, then how can son will be accepting those kind of things, those misinterpretations about his father? He does not have access. Whereas the son, he always sees the father. He knows the mood of the father, what father wants. This is the Lord and the devotee. Other people do not have access to Bhagavatam. But unfortunately, the impersonalist who has no relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead sometimes tries to interpret Srimad Bhagavatam by his poor fund of knowledge in grammar and dry speculation. So this is about generally we say, for example, if there is a movie actors, there are two people, father and son, and father wanted to do something, son wanted to do something else. There is always some kind of mixed communications, or they do not listen. But other media is there. They will go and take some kind of mics and ask, what is opinions? What do you want to do? What you wanted to try to tell? What you
Hare
want to do? So these are all different kinds of mental speculations. This is a kind of a impersonalism, dry speculations, but nothing is right. And therefore, the Lord wants Brahma and through Brahma, all future devotees of the Lord in disciplic succession of Brahma, that one should never be misled by the conclusion of the so-called grammarians or by other men with a poor fund of knowledge. So here, when the impersonalist he speaks in such a way, flowery language, even sometimes uh, devotee, so Swarupa Damodar Goswami says that devotee should not go in contact with the impersonalist at any point of time. It is a foolishness because those people speak in such a way, the flowery language, sometimes everyone will fall into their illusions. Patityam Jnanamapi. Even though one is a Bhagavata, sometimes he will also fall down. So likewise, Prabhupada described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 7, 110th verse, in the purport, so where Shankaracharya was spreading this impersonalism, that is, actually it is the Lord Shiva on the instruction of Krishna. He has appeared as Lord Shankara and he was spreading Mayavada philosophy. And whoever hears that Mayavada philosophy, he will just fall into the illusion. This is Saririka Bhashya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suggested that one should not go in contact with the Mayavada philosophers. So here, so one should always take the instructions in the Guru Parampara only. Must always fix the mind properly via Parampara system. No one should try to give new interpretation by dint of mundane knowledge. And the first step, therefore, in pursuance of the system of knowledge received by Brahma is to approach a bona fide Guru, who is the representative of the Lord, following the Parampara system. So one has to, we have got the four bona fide authorities, Parampara systems. One is the Brahma Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya. In the Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacharya is the Acharya. In the Sri Sampradaya, Ramanujacharya, and also Kumara Sampradaya, Nimbarkacharya, and then Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami. These are the four Parampara systems. So, authenticated ones. So, we are in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Parampara. And here, no one should try to squeeze out his own meaning by imperfect mundane knowledge. They give different analogies are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam or other Puranas as well. But they will squeeze in such a way it will give imperfect meanings. But Lord only has given all the meanings, all the analogies also Lord only has given. Dhomen Agni Avrite. So likewise, when the fire is covered by the smoke, mirror is covered by the dust. Likewise, a baby is covered by the vulbana. Likewise, our desires are covered by our so many of material body and the subtle body like that. So many analogies are given. And here also Chatushloki Bhagavat also he has given analogies. But this there are some analogies like a gatam bhare yatam bhare. A pot air sky in the pot, whenever it is broke, it will merge into the big sky. But at the same time, it is called entire everything is situated within the Brahma. That is the actual analogy. But actually, there is individual entities. Again, the fishes in the river, they will go and merge into the ocean. But still, the identity of the fishes is remained. Individuality is remained. The individual souls, whenever they leave this material body and into a actual Brahma and they enter into the spiritual planets, they remain fixed in their individual identities. That is the devotees. But whereas there is a Kaivalya, which is the Sahyajya Mukti, they will simply merge into that impersonal Brahman. They lose their identity. But it is not going to be permanent also. And here, that is the imperfect mundane knowledge. And here, the Guru or the bona fide spiritual master is competent to teach the disciple in the right path with reference to the context of full authentic Vedic literature. He does not attempt to juggle words to bewilder the student. So he is simply present and repeat. The bona fide spiritual master, by his personal activities, teaches the disciple the principles of devotional service. So when he is situated in the devotional service, he keep that knowledge, that transcendental knowledge as it is, and all of his time. So actually, whenever we are doing something, whatever we can do, we need to do it in a proper way. So he said that is called a devotee and discipline. But whenever I can do, that means it is our time is fixed, our time is limited. We have got only 24 hours a day. We cannot say that whenever I can do, whenever it is possible, I can do. That that thing it is not required. But though whatever we do, we need to do it in a regular way. That is the devotee and the discipline. And the bona fide spiritual master teaches the disciple principles of devotional service. Disciple means who is disciplined in the system. And without personal service, one would go on speculating like the impersonalist and dry speculators life after life. Bahujanma vipakwena samyak yoga samadhina. So these are many lifetimes. They will have to go and pondering What do they achieve? It is speculations only. They do not come to the but Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabaha. And finally they have to come to the Vasudeva Sarvamiti. But otherwise, they would not reach the final conclusion. By following the instructions of the bona fide spiritual master in conjunction with the principles of revealed scriptures, the student will rise to the plane of complete knowledge, which will be exhibited by development of detachment from the world of sense gratification. So, since this world is completely Maithunaghara, come a man and woman when come together, there is attraction, and in such a way it keep on developing. But actual meant for this universe is to give the conditioned souls an opportunity so that they will be liberated out of this prison of this Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, so that they will go back to Vaikuntha planet. That is the purpose. And that's why we have got all Vedic injunctions, either marriages or how one has to behave and how one has to live in the different ashramas, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa ashrama. That's why we have got four varnas, four ashramas. This is proper. This is the Kali human society. Even whenever the Kali Purusha is entering, and Mother Goddess Earth, Bhudevi, she was lamenting when Dharma was inquiring. When he asked that why you are lamenting, then she says that I am also worried about the Varnashram people living in the Varnashrama Dharma, not for other people. Other are just on the animal level. So people may think that we are also having the equal rights, we are also human. They're not the humans actually, as per the scriptures. Who are following Varnashrama Dharma, they are the actual humans. They are all Dharmohina Pashubihi Samana. They're all animals. The mundane wranglers, so there is no doubt about that to say that they are animals. There is no difference. This is ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanam hi etad pasubihi naranam. So, and then mundane wranglers are surprised that one can detach himself from the world of sense gratification, and thus any attempt to be fixed in God realization appears to them to be mysticism. So, it is very difficult for them to come to the conclusion that to worship Krishna in his personal form. It is kind of a big mysticism. They can sit in one place and try to meditate on the impersonal Brahman. It may appear for them to be easy, but Krishna says it is the Kleshadikatarastesham Abhyaktasakta. That is also very difficult for the materially embodied people, especially in this age of Kali. But here, for such kind of people, attempt to be fixed in the God realization becomes, it appears to them to be mysticism. They cannot enter here because their mind is always speculating in the impersonalism only. And then here, the detachment from the sensory world is called Brahmabhota stage of realization. This is the Brahmabhota Prasannatma Nasochati Nakankshati Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. When he is in the Brahmabhota stage and he is not lamenting or not desiring anything, and he is equal to all the living entities, Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu, at that time Madbhaktim labate param, he would attain that my devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, so this is detachment is only the beginning only. And then the preliminary stage of transcendental devotional life, parabhakti, that is the यस्य देवे पराभक्तिर् यथा देवे तथा गुरौ तस्यैते कथिता ह्यर्थाः prakashante mahatmanah. One who has got fixed faith on his guru and Krishna, then he will attain all his knowledge will be awakened within him, all the transcendent loving devotional life, parabhakti. The Brahmabhota stage of life is also known as the Atmarama stage. So in this Atmarama stage, one would experience the highest bliss, happiness, because he is not associating with the material world, not going through any pains. Atmarama, Atmaramasya munayo nirbhandapi gurukrame kurvant aitkim bhaktim ittam bhuta guno harihi. They are all self-satisfied. They experience those Atmarama, self-satisfied, complete satisfaction, in which one is fully self-satisfied and does not hanker for the world of sense enjoyment. He is independent, so no one can No one is his friend, no one is his enemy. He is complete independent. That is the independent. People are looking for independence. What is the independence? It is not the countries or the societies. That is not the independence. It is the self-satisfaction is the independence. This stage of full satisfaction is the proper situation for understanding the transcendental knowledge of the personality of Godhead. So at that point of time, एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवत भक्ति योगतः भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संग से जायते. When he is completely एवं प्रसन्न मनसो, at that time भगवत भक्ति योगतः, and what happens? Mukta Sangha se jayate, and Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam, the science of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything will be revealed unto him. Otherwise, if he is just going for behind the sense that I wanted to eat this one, I wanted to sleep more time, I wanted to watch this one, go for picnic, go for holidays, and then if on the mode of sense gratification, what happens? They cannot enter into this stage, Brahma Bhuta stage, and also they cannot enter into Atma Rama stage or devotional life. One has to be prasanna manaso. One should not hanker for the sensory gratifications. Thus, in the completely satisfied stage of life exhibited by full detachment from the world of sense enjoyment as a result of performing devotional service, one can understand the science of Godhead in the liberated stage. So that is the liberation stage is the beginning only. After that, one experiences so many of those Krishna's pastimes. They will be, Lord will orchestrate activities in such a way the devotee experiences and also understand how this material world is miserable and how we need to act. We have gone through so many instructions. These are orchestrate of these activities. One goes through each and everything. What we have learned it. It is kind of a experiment for us, whether we are going to pass this test or not. If we are not passing that one, Krishna arranges again, immediately put us into one step down, coming back to the material senses. So, in this full stage of satisfaction and detachment from the sensory world, one can know the mystery of the science of God with all its confidential intricacies and not by grammar or academic speculation. It is a science of God. So, because Brahma qualified himself for such reception, the Lord was pleased to disclose the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the guru, whenever the disciple goes to the guru, he will, because uh, Guravaha Denavachalaha, they are always compassionate and inclined to the conditioned souls. And he is not because of he is a poor person, he does not have food or he does not have cloth or shelter. It is not the compassionate. Compassionate because he is suffering here conditioned by the three material modes of nature, attached with the sense gratification. That's why he is compassionate, not on the material platform. He is compassionate on the because he is not yet spiritually understood. That's why that is the here the Lord is saying to disclosing this purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam to Brahma. And here Brahma was the Lokavitikara. Uh, he was a bit disturbed because of so much of inundation of water. And here Loka Samstana Vijnana Atmanaha Parikidjataha. Brahma was disturbed. Atmanaha Parikidjataha. So Lord is saying Chatushloki Bhagavata. So this direct instruction by the Lord to any devotee who is detached from the world of sense gratification is possible. As stated in the again, Tesham Satayuktanam Bhajitam Pritipurukam Dadami Buddhiyogam Tam Yenamam Upayantite. Lord will give that intelligence how to come back to himself, to the Vaikunta, to his abode. But what we need to do? Bhajitam Pritipurukam. We need to please him. And then further on to the devotees who are constantly engaged in the Lord's transcendent loving service. Everything is a service. We need to remember this is a service. Service includes the time and wealth or some efforts, hard work for the pleasure of Krishna. Priti Purvakam. So, and then out of his causeless mercy upon the devotee gives direct instructions so that devotee may make accurate progress on the path returning home back to Godhead. One should not therefore try to understand these four verses of Srimad Bhagavatam by mental speculation. So Prabhupada is again stressing the same point. One has to take the instructions as they are. So rather by direct perception of Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is able to know all about his abode Vaikuntha as was seen and experienced by Brahmaji. Such Vaikuntha realization is possible by any devotee of the Lord situated in the transcendental position as a result of devotional service. So how can we see here in this material world? We can see the Vaikuntha planet. For example, if we go on for a temple, a normal person goes to the temple, for example, Bhaktivedanta Manor or Soha temple. One can go and see there and then take darshan and do something. One person realization is different, whereas the devotee, one who is pure in that stage, Brahmabhota stage and the devotional stage, his realization is entirely different. His concept, he would not see any faults happening by any person at all. Though sometimes one person, oh, this person is doing so many things, all these people are only taking over the temple, and this person is doing all these things, this person is saying like this. Even a pure devotee does not see those faults at all, even though it is happening, but he sees Lord is behind everything for a purpose. So that is Vaikuntha means there is no misery. He would not see the miseries at all. He would see that with his transcendental vision. Transcendental vision. So the Lord, he gives the Divya Chakshuhu to Arjuna when Arjuna wanted to see the Lord's opulences. Divya Chakshuhu. Okay, so that we can see that Vaikuntha planets here in this material world itself. When we go to the temple, which is situated in the complete knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. In the Gopalatapani Upanishad, it is said, Gopavesho me Purushaha Purastad Avirbhabuva. Purastad Avirbhabuva. The Lord has appeared in the Gopavesha, like a covered boy, before Lord Brahma. And who is later described in the Brahma. Chinta Mani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Ruksha Lakshavruteshu Surabhirabi Palayantam Surabhihi Abhi Palayantam. So Krishna always Palayantam, he is the tending the cows in the Goloka Vrindavana in the form of covered boy. And then he is served by Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambrama Sevyamanam. So millions of Lakshmis, they are serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu. And all buildings are made by the Chintamani stones, the touchstones. As soon as it touches the iron turns into gold. That is the Chintamani. Such kind of houses are there in the Golok Vrindavan. That Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And then Brahmaji desires to worship the personality of Godhead Lord Sri Krishna, who resides in the topmost Vaikuntha planet, known as the Golok Vrindavana. This is the Tatra Sarvopari Goloke. That is Sarvopari Goloke. It is topmost of all the Vaikuntha planets, where he is in the habit of keeping Surabhi cows as a covered boy, where he is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. So Krishna is the original personality, and whereas his opulent form, just like a father in the home and the father in the office or in the uh, palace in the sense like going to the parliament or sabha, something like that. That is with all his opulences and entourage. It is kind of a Vaikuntha where Narayana form. The same personality in one personality mood is in the home. That is the real identity. That is Krishna. And in the opulent form, that is Narayana. Okay, therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is the original form of Supreme Lord. Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. So this is the Swayam is the very important term. He is the personality. By himself is the Krishna to Bhagavan. He is the only personality of Godhead. This is also clear from this instruction. The personality of Godhead is Lord Sri Krishna, not directly Narayana. So, or Purusha Avatara. So here Narayana are the Purusha Avatar. Purusha Avatars are the Karnodaksai Vishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, Kshirodaksai Vishnu. Vishnu Sutrini Rupani. Purushakya Anyito Viduhu. Ekam tu Ekam tu एकं तु जगत्सृष्टुः द्वितीयं त्वण्डसंस्थितं तृतीयं सर्वभूतस्थं तान् ज्ञात्वा विमुच्यते. Whoever understands three Purusha avatars, they will also be freed from this material entanglement. So, and then after that, Leela avatars, Purusha avatars, Leela avatars, Guna avatars. Likewise, there are many Sekta Vesha avatars like that, Manvantara avatars. So, therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam means consciousness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the sound representation of the Lord as much as Bhagavad Gita is. So, there is no difference between Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. One is spoken by the Lord Krishna and other one is about Krishna. So, both are having the same instructions. Thus, the conclusion is that Srimad Bhagavatam is science of Lord in which the Lord and his abode are perfectly realized. So here, Srimad Bhagavatam is the life companion of devotees. They would see the Lord each and every moment through the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is meant only for the Lord and his devotees. Priyaha Paramahamsanam Tayevi Achyuta Priyaha. So this is why Vyasadeva was not satisfied, even though he has compiled Mahabharata and Puranas and everything. Kimva Bhagavata Dharma na prayena nirupitaha. I did not describe Srimad Bhagavatam about the Lord and his devotees. Is that the reason for my dissatisfaction? Kimva Bhagavata Dharma na prayena nirupitaha. At that point of time, the Narad Muni appeared to Vyasadeva and then he asked him, you just compile Srimad Bhagavatam about the Lord. Then he has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. Then he see Bhakti Yogena Manasi Samyak Pranihti Amile. Apasyat Purusham Purna Mayam Chatad Apashriyam. Then he would see Krishna in his Samadhi and also Maya. Then he has compiled Lokasya Ajanato Vidbhan Chakre Satpata Samhitam. This is Satpata Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam. So when whoever is taking Srimad Bhagavatam, it is not ordinary soul. He is already situated in the perfect path. He would see in due course of time this manifestation of this transcendental knowledge and also Lord's pastimes through his practical experiences. Okay, so in such a way, the Lord is saying to Brahma, and Prabhupada is describing elaborately each and every step here. Okay, etan matam samatista paramena samadhina bhavan kalpa vikalpeshu navimuhiti karihichet. So Brahma, at any point of time, just follow this conclusion by fixed concentration of mind, and no pride will disturb you neither in the partial nor in the final devastation. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So it took a few minutes more so that we conclude this part as well in a complete understanding. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today it is a letter to Jadurani, June 5th, 1970, Los Angeles. It's a small letter. Can I request Mruda Sachi Mataji if available? Okay, if Mataji is not available, anyone would like to read this small letter, please?
I'll read through.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
My dear Jadurani, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge this your letter dated 2nd of June 1970. You go with increasing the Bhagavad pictures according to the descriptions, and you need not divert your attention for the pictures demanded by our different centers. You can redirect such inquiries here. As there are 3 artists now living with us, it will be not difficult to paint temple pictures, Pankata Vita, etc. So we simply concentrate in drawing pictures from Bhagavatam, etc. and keep this together because they will need it in future for many other purposes. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever relation is Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any takeaway points, Prabhuji?
The one takeaway point is Prabhupada is very particular about perfections of the pictures, which is reflecting on the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So he doesn't want any kind of disturbance, and he wants as perfect as it described in the Bhagavatam. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay. Any other comments, dear devotees? You wanted that? Okay. So that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So pictures from Bhagavatam. Pictures speak so many statements, but one picture gives so much of information. By looking at one picture, we can write one complete entire book also. Okay, so that is about this one. Prabhupada is suggesting to draw the pictures for the books and for many other purposes, but sometimes from different temples, coming from different people. To the Jadurani Mataji is perfect a painter, professional painter. She does very beautiful all of our Krishna book and Bhagavatam pictures. She did many of those things. Okay, so and Prabhupada is, if such kind of inquiries are coming, then Prabhupada is asking to divert those inquiries to Prabhupada so that Prabhupada would engage other people to draw those pictures. Okay, so that is Prabhupada's letter. And Prabhupada is always accept my blessings. And then finally, this will make you in good health, your well-wisher. These three statements always there. Blessings and health and then well-wisher. Okay, so this is my takeaway. And from the announcements point of view, I have shared about the devotee's contribution towards the Lord's devotional service, his seva for Narsimha Chaturdasi, Zoom Sangha, Zoom subscription, and also Goshala as well. So it will be including within that all together. Okay, so devotees, you can start making your contributions to it, and I'll be sharing the statement after a week or 2 weeks to if there are any contributions. Okay, that's all from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to ask anything or you wanted to share anything, kindly share or ask. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no updates and no sharings, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि
Multiple Vaishnavin
वैष्णवेभ्यो
ki
जय
jai.
श्रील
Srila
प्रभुपाद की
Prabhupada ki jai.
हरे कृष्ण